Hello everyone, welcome again to Kitchen Delight. As you see here, I'm trying to get my garlic off its leaves. I've always given you the technique of how to get the garlic out of the leaves. You don't have to struggle and fight with it. You can only squeeze it and then it will just fall off. Very simple, just like that. Now what I'm doing today, I'm doing Mediterranean skewers, and in the Mediterranean skewers, I'm gonna need a turkey breast that is boneless. And then I have my pickling onions. There's a difference between the pickling onions, or the white onions as some people call them, and the ordinary or traditional red onions. So I'm gonna use both of them, and they both have different flavors. This one is a little stronger, and this one is mild and slightly sweeter. So the acidity in the pickling onion is little or low compared to what is in the red onion. So I'm using my turkey breast again. I'm using pickling onion or the white onion. I'm using the red onion, bell peppers, fresh basil, and of course lime and eggplant. And that way we're gonna have a wonderful time. So what I'm doing here, I'm just simply cutting my garlic because I want to make a marinade for my turkey breast. However, before I go any further, I want to remind you. Now, I'm gonna put the turkey on skewers. And the reason I'm soaking these skewers is because they're gonna go on fire. And you don't want them to choke or to dry up and break when they're on fire. So before you do anything, if you're gonna use skewers like this, it is always wise or advisable that you soak them in water for at least 30 minutes. And I've always told you the technique of extracting all the juices out of the garlic. Once you cut it like this, it's fine. You can put some salt. Now this is if you don't have a garlic squeezer. So you just go hard with your knife on, just like this, and smash it. So this extracts all the juices and all the flavors out of the garlic. You just have to go over again, maybe once or twice, and that way the garlic will all be like squeezed and smashed and very soft. So when you put it in the marinade, it dissolves together with everything else that you're going to put. So we are good to go. That is our garlic. And then after the garlic, I'm going to use, now the amount of lemonade you make or the amount of the marinade that you make depends on how much you're going to cook. So for what I'm going to make today, I'm going to use only two juice of 2 limes. And so because you're just marinating, it's okay. You can even squeeze with the seeds in, or you can pick them out. It has no danger or anything. So I'm using juice of 2 limes to make our marinade. And in our marinade, it's very simple to make. It's just garlic, lemonade, fresh basil, and olive oil. As simple as that. All right, we are good to go. So this is juice of 2 lemons. I'm gonna get some fresh basil here. Cut it very, very finely. What you do, you can just pick just the leaves because we're making a marinade and we don't want it to be a little tough and get all the stems go in. So we can pick just the leaves. Now with the fresh basil, I like the flavor that comes from the basil. Remember, we're making Mediterranean skewers. So you can just get your knife, squeeze them together and cut them very, very thinly like this. So here we have fresh basil, we have lime juice, we have our garlic, and right now I'm just going to get some olive oil, just a drizzle. You can use extra virgin oil. Anything that is in the family of olive oil would be okay for you to go with. So set that aside, get my whisk here, mix it. You see that the olive oil, the fresh basil, and the lime all coming together. So I'll do that. Now, just in case you make a marinade and you feel maybe it is not enough for what you're going to do, because we're just going to marinate, we're not going to use it to cook, we can put just some little water to kind of lighten the marinade that you're making. But for now, I think this will be fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm getting my skewers out of here. I'll set this aside. Then just get it. So with my marinade, I'm going to just pour it in here. Set it aside and just let it. All right. This aside. And I'll just clean my fingers. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut my turkey breast into biteable sizes that are very easy to cook, and you don't want when somebody has it to chew and chew and chew. So I'm going to cut like roughly an inch or 2 inches, something easy to bite through and something that can go on the skewer and look very, very comfortable. Now, the reason I like the turkey breast is because it is boneless. So if you're doing a skewer, it's easier for you to pinch it on a stick, or rather on the skewer, or put vegetables around it, and then it is so rich in flavor. This is one of the best parts of the turkey, that is so rich in flavor. So biteable sizes, just roughly like that. And the good thing with the breast is that it's kind of divided in itself, so it is easier for you to cut. Just simple, easy, biteable pieces, and that is done. Now here is the other magic. So I have my eggplants here, I have my yellow bell peppers, the red ones, then I'll use a white onion and a red onion. So I'm going to set this aside. And one other thing that I'm going to use is it has a complicated name for me to mention or to pronounce, but it's called a courgette. This is like in the family of cucumbers and in the family of the eggplants, but the flavor is slightly different. This is more of a vegetable that can be cooked compared to a cucumber. So I have this, set this aside. Now what I'm going to do, I want you to pay very, very close attention. This is my eggplant, and I want to make something very creative. So what you do, you divide it in the middle, just like that. Now after, we want to slice this to like half an inch or an inch long. So we make long cuts through the eggplant. Okay, we can just hold it like this, and then you see what I'm doing? Now this is where the magic of a very sharp knife operates in your life. Or if you have a grater, actually will even serve better. Next time on the show, I'll be showing you the different types of graters and how they work. But now for what I'm doing here, if you had a grater, it would help you and simplify the work. But for now, I'm going to be using my knife. Just go over like that. You just have to be careful with your knife so you don't cause damages and accidents in your kitchen. From here, this is where a sharp knife really operates, and you don't have to worry about some corners. It's part of the trade. So we set this aside, then we get our bell pepper, go over in the middle like that. Just take out the stem and the seeds, and then basing on the size of what you made and what you're trying to do here, you can just cut it in a long way and then divide it just like that. Simple bits that can go on the skewer, just like that. And then one. We do the same. Now, what we did with our eggplant is the same thing that we're going to do with our courgette. It's, I think, a French word, and you know, in French, you don't pronounce those last letters, which becomes a little complicated for us, especially Africans and Ugandans. It's a little soft and tender, so you also have to be very, very careful and very tender while dealing with it. So you can have beautiful sheets like that. What is missing? Our onion. So the onions, what I'm going to do with the white onion, because you want it to be together in one piece. So before you peel it, just divide it into 4. That is 2. You take off just the top layer of the skin, and you can cut from one end, so this other bit remains intact, and this is what we're going to pinch into the skewer. Same thing with the red onion. You divide it just into 4. Very simple. We have our red onions. What is missing? I'll have my black pepper and my white pepper. Simple as that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of salt. Remember, salt is what brings out everything that you're cooking, and the flavor and the beauty and the taste. So black pepper, just like that, and some white pepper. So when you do that, just mix to make sure everything goes very well and together. Now the reason we didn't put the pepper and the salt in the marinade is because we want just the turkey by itself to absorb some taste and some flavor in itself from the pepper and the salt. Now when you get all the courgette or the courgette that you have and your eggplant, because you want it to be even and balanced, so what you do, you cut off the short ends and you discard them, so you have something that is balanced. And I have my my turkey. So here comes the fun and play time. So you get the skewer, and then you get a piece of the turkey breast. Now we're going to balance. We want to mix and have color and beauty. So you get one and just roll it in, just like that. And the skewer now is going to act as, is going to hold it. So that is one. And then you can put a yellow paper, just for color and beauty and flavor. Now remember, here's the courgette, yellow paper. Now this has the eggplant. Pinch through, just like that. And then this time you get the red paper, like that. And then you can have the white onion. Pinch it just from the middle here, like this. Remember, we're looking for flavor and beauty and color. And then just like this, put a yellow paper, just like that. Very simple. And then you want to put this in your marinade. Put that aside. Our first one is done, so we're going to embark on the second one. Get a piece, just roll it in. Remember, it's already flavored with salt and pepper and white pepper. So roll that in, get your skewer, hold it together, get an onion. Oops, you need to be careful because it's very tender. Put it over. That is also done. Then we can embark on another one. So this can go on and on and on. And after putting everything on the skewer, marinate it, make sure everything has soaked very well in the marinade. You can put in the fridge for like between 20 and 30 minutes. For now, I want us to take a very short break. And when we come back from the break, it is time for these guys to hit the fire and then go into something new altogether. And remember, there's that part of the show that I know you're very, very conversant with. It's about to come. So hold it there and don't move.